Kundalini with Katrina.
Deep dive into the world of wellness and the different things you can do to just feel a bit better. And with the return of spring, she's back at it, and this time has been finding out about a practice that's tailored for neurodivergent people.
The birds are chirping. It's a beautiful spring day, and I've come out to the countryside to try something I've never tried before. It's so peaceful out here in Swanton Abbot, which is perfect because I'm visiting a wellness studio called Grove Farm Wellbeing. It looks a little bit like a red brick converted barn nestled in a copse of trees. And I'm going to be having a go at a form of yoga that I've never even heard of.
2, 1. Inhale, bring the thumbs to touch above the head, fingers extend. Hold on to the breath, pull the belly to spine for 3.
As ever, I'm here with Sarah Groves from BBC Norfolk Wellbeing Hub. It's been a little while, hasn't it, since we caught up?
It has, hasn't it? We had a little break over winter, didn't we? But it's spring now, so it's time to start the conversations again, I think.
I think that's it, isn't it, about spring? So many of us feel compelled. You know, we sort of emerge like buds, don't we, turning into flowers. And there's something about the changing of the season that makes us really want to take care of ourselves. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it just sparks that kind of sense of curiosity and that kind of hopefulness and wanting to, be a bit more exploratory and see what's out there for us. And we naturally get that a little bit more energy that we're like, oh, what might I like to do with this then?
Now, we've really come out into the countryside today, but we're not too far from Elsham. Why have you brought me out here?
Well, this is a beautiful new venue. I think they've been open maybe about a year now. Stuart Morton set up the Grove Wellbeing Hub, and it's just such a lovely place. I mean, Elsham is just quite an accessible place, isn't it, in Norfolk for so many of us, whether we live in Norwich or Cromer or wherever. And it's just stunning. This is actually the first time I've been out here. I've been wanting to come for a little while. But, we're surrounded by the trees, and we're lucky with the sun shining today, but it's just such a lovely light space. And it's something I'm hoping that we're going to be able to expand our Feel Good Hub to as well. So funding allowing, this year we hope to expand out to this more rural area so we can start providing the service to other people beyond Norwich.
Lovely. So what are we going to be up to today?
Well, we're going to be joined today by Katrina, who has been a Feel Good Norfolk supporter from the very beginning, and I absolutely love her work with Kundalini Yoga, but also her work with neurodivergent people, because at the heart of Feel Good Norfolk is exploring accessibility. How can we make wellness more accessible? And we've talked before about that financial barriers being something that gets in the way of us exploring wellness. But there's so many other barriers that we want to be looking at trying to break down as well, whether that's lack of confidence or stress, anxiety to partake in these kind of activities. But also neurodivergence is a huge barrier, and we found with our community hub that we've attracted a lot of neurodivergent people. And I find that it's such a great space for people to come and explore safely and without any expectations and really meet their needs. So I'm really excited to see how Katrina's work develops more with that this year. I know she's got lots of ideas of how she can support more and more neurodivergent people.
I'm Katrina Zawawi, and I'm a Kundalini Yoga teacher. I started off acquiring my master's in autism first because I'm neurodivergent, and my brother is autistic, and I worked with autism. I used to teach at City College, and I lectured students who had autism. So it was really close to heart, and I pursued my master's. And from there, I felt that well-being is something that they really, really needed to integrate into their life. So stress wouldn't be such a huge problem, because it's a huge problem for a lot of people, but it's much more intense in someone who has autism. So I went to study yoga in India. So my dream is to bring the two together.
What might be some of the challenges for someone that is neurodivergent when they want to access some of these wellbeing services?
Probably nerves, really, the big one. Not knowing, not trusting, worried that perhaps they might get talked into something that they're not prepared to do. Perhaps maybe a lot of not being comfortable, not being able to let themselves go. Because oftentimes when neurodivergents, particularly people with hypermobility, go into yoga, they get injured. And that happens with everyone, but neurodivergents are more likely to be hypermobile. And because of that, they're also worried about how they look in comparison to other people. We always compare ourselves, don't we? And they're highly, highly shy. So it's about creating a space for people to feel it's okay to be themselves.
Now, for someone that's familiar with yoga that maybe isn't familiar with Kundalini Yoga, what's kind of the difference?
Okay, so with Kundalini Yoga, we do a lot of shaking, a lot of vocalization. People who are autistic have a lot of stuck energy inside them and the stimming that they want to do. So I create a really safe space for anyone, whether they're autistic or not, to explore. Whether they want to run up and down the studio, that's fine. If they want to flap, that's fine. If they want to shout, that's fine. I encourage shouting. I encourage screaming. I encourage laughing and crying, just to allow the emotions to come out so that they can settle within themselves. Because there's this whole kind of like stuck energy and anxiety and trauma that is really in the body, and it's all over the body, and they can't release it. So Kundalini Yoga allows you to express that.
What would you say to someone that thinks this sounds like something that would be really useful for them, but is maybe feeling that anxiety, maybe feeling nervous about coming along to one of your classes?
I would say just to come, and maybe if they don't want to participate, just to be there and to feel the energy. They're welcome to just even take a mat and lay on it. Anything is possible. We've got chairs, they can sit on chairs. They don't actually need to take part, but everyone wants to in the end. So it's like even the person who comes in to observe and see what it's all about, they're like, actually, I'm going to start doing some shaking. This feels nice. And then they participate.
If someone would like to find out more about your classes or come along to one, how do they reach out to you? How do they find out more?
So I've got a website. It's kundaliniwithkatrina.com.
Oh, sounds amazing, doesn't it? There's Amy Blunt's there. And yeah, it just, I think, just all of the sort of the chanting, even then, I was just like, you know what? It just feels really nice. So I'm just in my own little world, even just listening to that. Oh, lovely.
The sound